So today we're going to do lesson 8.4, number line posters for fractions. This is the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math. There are no new vocabulary words that go with this unit, so we're going to be using vocabulary words that students have worked on right along. And basically what we're going to have kids do today is learn how to split up a whole on a number line into fractions. So the first strip that they will have is just going to remain whole. It's just going to equal 1, all right, and that's just going to equal 1 whole. But the next one that they'll have, we're going to want to split into halves, all right, we're going to want to split into halves, so this will be about the halfway mark here, and we'll equal 1/2 here and 1/2 here, all right, and we'll put that in just a different color for us to see. Okay, so 1 whole, kids will be able to see, is equal to 2 halves. And then the next one, we're going to be splitting up. We're going to split this one right up into thirds, actually. Okay, it'll be about this much here, and about this much here. Okay, they should be as equal as we can get them. So we have a third, and a third. Okay, and we'll do a different color for those. So kids can start to see that there are more as the denominator, the lower number gets bigger. The fraction strip is actually split into more parts. So this time we can see 3/3 equals 1 whole. 3/3 also equals 2 halves. They can see that 2 of the thirds are bigger than 1/2, all right, and start to make those sorts of comparisons. The next one that we will split up is going to be, we'll make them fourths, okay, and so we can split this right into 4 parts, this strip. So we'll have 1 out of 4 here, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. Okay, and we can put that in a different color still. All right, and then kids can start to see, oh, look at that. 2 of these fourths are the same as 1 of the halves. All right, and the third is kind of in between 2/4 and 2 halves. All right, 3/4, though, is bigger than 2 of the thirds. Okay, and they can start to draw some conclusions and inferences like that. And we're going to go on and we're going to split up the fraction strip all the way down so they can kind of get an idea of that. The other thing that we're going to be talking about is that if we were to look at this strip in terms of being a number line, so let's say this is a number line, let's say this is 0 here, and let's say this is 1 over here. Okay, so we want to be able to plot some of these numbers along a number line, all right, as a fraction. And we can actually use this strip above to get an idea of what that would look like. So this would be our 1/2 mark on this strip. We would have a 1/4 mark here. We would have a 1/3 mark here. Okay, we'd have a 2/3 mark here. And we'd have a 3/4 mark here. All right, and we could also say, well, this 1/2, this is also the same as 2/4. And we start to see how those are equivalent, how those are the same. This one here is going to be 2 halves, or 3/3, or 4/4. And the pattern that we hope kids will notice is when the numerator, the top number, and the denominator, the bottom number, are the same, it's always equal to 1 whole. Okay, and as an aside, when the top number is bigger, when the numerator is bigger than the denominator, it's equal to more than 1. Okay, so kids are kind of working on understanding that as well. As far as how you can help with this at home, we're really working on fractional parts of things. So just trying to help kids think about numbers that are smaller than 1 and asking them to compare these fractions. You know, which is bigger, 1/3 or 1/4? Which is bigger, 2/3 or 3/4? Which is bigger, 1/2 or 2/3? And they can easily look at this sort of a fraction strip and see. Another great way to practice this is with measuring cups. if you have some measuring cups at home, you can see which is bigger. If you take the 1/4 measuring cup, you'll certainly see that it's much smaller than the 1/2 measuring cup. Okay, or if you take the 1/3 measuring cup, you might wonder, is it bigger or smaller than 1/4? All right, and if you play with it a little bit and look at it and experiment, you'll see the 1/3 is indeed bigger than 1/4. Okay, you can fill it with water and just see which produces more water, filling this one or filling this one. And just trying to talk about those fractional parts, those numbers that are less than 1, because kids can struggle with this, so the more real life examples they have to use fractions, the better. So this is lesson 8.4, number line posters for fractions, the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math.